All right जी, आज मिस शाइस्ता अली को हम तकलीफ देने जा रहे हैं. शी इज़ अ पाकिस्तानी based in a place called Vaughan, Ontario, Canada. And she writes about herself: by endurance we conquer. So, achieving goals and inner peace in life of turmoil requires diligent effort. Creating a life that matters is the key principle of Miss Shaista's life. She believes that in order to get where one wants to be, one has to prioritize what one envisions and visualizes. The intention, hard work, perseverance, resilience, and motivation are the key ingredients for climbing the plateau of success towards our lofty goals. No triumph can be attained without it. Shaista has years of successful entrepreneurial and management experience with result oriented leadership skills as a mentor and heuristic happiness coach for executives. We're going to talk in detail about this happiness coach. What does she mean by that? Business owners, corporations, and enthusiastic achievers. She's an expert at happiness at the workplace and how to be productive working from home or remote working skills. आज के दौर में this happiness is very important because all of us are going through so much stress, especially during the COVID era and after. Now that supposedly COVID is gone, at least in this part of the world. So we have somehow lost our happiness somewhere along the line. Anyway, she's a high performing entrepreneurial CEO with 20 plus years of experience in domestic and international markets, utilizing a successful track record to provide fiscal, strategic, and operational leadership for growth oriented organizations, turnarounds, and startups. Shaista is a founder of a program called Harness the Power of Haptitude. Now, by haptitude, she means happiness plus attitude plus gratitude. So, all three combine to become aptitude. She has a diploma in interior design from Ozar Zubi, Pakistan, a Bachelor of Arts degree from the University of Sindh here in Pakistan, a diploma in journalism from the Writing School in Singapore, which she did online in 1995. She's also a certified TESL teacher from Accredited Scotland, UK, as well as a certified corporate makeup artist, wow, which she secured from the Canadian Beauty College and Delamar Academy of Makeup in UK. She is also an International Coaching Federation certified executive business coach from the Flow Coaching Institute in Toronto, Canada, while she's also a certified happiness at workplace executive coach from UC Berkeley. So without wasting much time, let's take Miss Shaista on board right away. Well, here you are, Miss Shaista. A very warm welcome. Are you there? Hello. She may have gone offline. Let's see. Oh, this technology, huh? Let's just wait for her to come online. There you are.
I don't know why.
It looks like as if you're sitting in Karachi and I'm conducting your interview here from Islamabad. But Karachi mein these blackouts are so common.
No, I think because I'm on the phone and when the phone
You are?
rings and
Oh boy. Okay, so it blacks out.
let me just put the phone on airplane mode. Just give me 1 second, okay?
Sure. Yeah. As long as you're online. So while she's trying to fix a phone, we were just discussing earlier as to how the weather is where she stays in Canada. And she told me that they're going through their fall and it must be colorful out there. Reminds me of my days in Colorado. Pueblo, Colorado, USA, whereby it was called the colorful country. And the fall, the colors of fall were so beautiful, like yellowish orange. And lately, when I went to Skardu here in Pakistan, the northern areas, I got to appreciate the same colors. So, wow, she's back. Can you hear me, Shaista?
Yes, I can hear you now.
So good to have you today.
Thank you. Thank you for a very elongated introduction. But thank
Pleasure
you.
is all mine. So the floor is all yours, whichever way you want to take us now while sitting in Canada. Yeah.
Yeah, but what is it? I think I missed out on something. Maybe the line
While you were trying to
connected.
fix your phone, I was just having a light conversation with our audience and telling them as to how the weather would be up there in Canada where you live, the colors of fall. And I was telling them about my experience when I was in the US and going to school in southern Colorado. The fall was beautiful. The
Yes.
oranges,
Yeah.
haze, and the colors and everything. So, tell us about the weather right now in Canada, where you live.
It's 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 getting cold, but the
Okay.
colors haven't changed yet. So it's still that summer colors are still around. The flowers are still blooming. Everything's okay. So, but
Hmm.
it's starting to get cold a little bit.
Okay. So, on which side of Canada you reside? On the east coast, in the middle, in the west,
I'm in Ontario, the south side. Yeah.
the south side? Okay. And they do speak English over there prevalently, or is it French?
No, English. English.
English? Because there's some places in
Yes.
Canada. I've never been there. I
In
heard they
Montreal.
speak a
In
lot of
Montreal,
French.
they.
Quebec and all those places, I believe.
Yeah.
Montreal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's where they speak. Quebec is more French,
Okay.
and obviously, like French is their second language, so
Hmm.
English is number one. Though.
Does it mean were they ever a French colony or something?
Yes.
They were. Okay. All right. So tell us about yourself. Why you are in Canada? Why did you leave Pakistan for that matter? When did you leave? What made you leave? And the journey.
I left many years ago. I used to
Okay.
live in Dubai, and from Dubai I moved to Toronto. So
Okay.
no specific reason, but I have been here for the last 13 years, and before that, I was in Dubai for 16 years.
Okay. So how do you take failure? How would you define failure?
How would I define failure? Okay, now, um, like I mentioned earlier to you, that you cannot truly enjoy success
Hmm.
unless you have failed. This is my experience. Like, I mean, failure is not is like people. Some people say it's taboo, but I think unless you fail, you will not truly value your success.
Hmm.
So that's my ideology of failure. It's okay to fail. There's nothing wrong in failing. Absolutely, like it's when you the what actually is wrong is when you give up when you fail.
Hmm. Yeah. So, what kind of failures you had in your life, if any? And I hope you
Uh,
have a few, so that we can carry the conversation further.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Um, my biggest failure that I thought, and I'm emphasizing I was, I'm going back to like I thought I had failed as a mother, but
Okay.
um, there is no such thing as you cannot have work and personal life balance, and it you can try and maintain a balance, but one will always be a little heavier than the other. So because my expectations from my children were much higher, because I thought I raised them with great morals, great values, great everything, giving them the best of the time, giving them everything possible under the sun, within my scope or out of my scope, just to make sure that they turn out to be good humans.
Okay.
So that was my number one priority. My kids were my number one priority, and I thought, okay, you know what? If I mean, nothing can ever go wrong. It's like
Mm-hmm.
I would look into my kids' eyes, or my daughter and I, or my son. I have a daughter and a son, and
Okay.
before saying, we understood each other. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I thought, oh my God, this is the ultimate. And and then you raise them, you get them, they're married and they have kids and stuff like that. So I thought, you know what, perfect. But
Okay.
then right after, reality struck. It's like when they have their own lives and when they are doing what they need to do, and you become their second priority,
Mm-hmm.
because all your life you think they are your number one. I thought that my kids were my number one priority. Every time anything, it's like my kids number one. So going somewhere, how with my kids, like my friends used to call me a package deal, like anything you want to do, you have to include her kids. And then
Okay.
suddenly, when they grew up and when they had a life, I was not their priority. So I'm like, oh my God, and I don't generally speak up or show my hurt or anger. So I was
Okay.
just, I would cry, and I would be very upset with myself that, oh, you know what, I've actually failed as a mother, because I am not their priority, because my expectations were very high from them.
Mm-hmm.
And then as when I became a coach, when I was when I got the exposure to talking to hundreds and thousands of different kinds of people, I saw what actually is going on. Like, and then I realized, oh my God, you know what you call as shukr ka sajda? 1,000 1 crore dafa. I went and I begged for forgiveness from Allah that, oh my God, I was so ungrateful. My kids are still, mashallah, a blessing to me. They're successful, they're happy in their lives, everything is going so good. Who the hell am I to say that, I'm a failure?
Hmm.
And how all this changed is
Mm-hmm.
because I started embracing haptitude. And now, when you ask me what haptitude is happiness with an attitude of gratitude. When you have that attitude of gratitude, the smallest little thing, whatever may be in your life, I mean, children are a big thing, right? But smallest of things, like, oh, I want a ring, and this ring is, I don't have this ring, or my house is this, or my car is. You always have to see. There's no need to compare, but you need to see, is it what I really need,
Hmm.
or is this what I really want? There's a difference between need and want. So
Yeah.
when you ask these questions to yourself, right away, that so-called dilemma of being less privileged or less wanted, or less, in my case, it was just that I felt so terrible every time. It's like, oh my God, I'm not my kid's priority, which is not true. That it was just a figment in my head, right? It was an imagination, the imaginary thing that, oh, I did this. And I mean, I did it, my circumstances were different now, they have different circumstances. But they're there for me. They're right there. They're right by my side. So,
Is
I don't know if when you were growing up versus, my parents never kind of showed emotion or love. I mean, to this day, I'm extremely scared of my mom's anger. अभी तक डर लगता है मुझे. I'm scared of her. And
maybe that's out of respect also,
yes,
because
out
in
of
our
respect,
generation, yeah.
definitely, yes. It's only because we respect them so much. So,
That is why we are kind of scared क्योंकि कोई feelings hurt
because
ना
you
हो
don't want to hurt them, you don't want to
yes
upset them. So, लेकिन कभी उन्होंने love you, miss you, ये सब बातें हमें नहीं की when we were growing up. मैंने भी नहीं की अपने बच्चों के साथ। तो
Not
मेरी
that not
सॉरी,
that they did not love us, लेकिन
yeah,
शायद
no,
इस
no,
जनरेशन
no,
में
of course
ऐसा
they,
था.
it in their case it was action spoke louder than words. It wasn't saying love you, miss you, and doing something else. They gave us that comfort zone that it's okay. So in my case, it was never said love you, miss you. When my son got married and my daughter-in-law is like, say I love you, and I was inhibited. She said I love you. I said yeah, yeah. She said, do you love me? I said yeah, yeah. She goes, no, tell me that I love you. I said, it's kind of tough for me to do that. And then when my grandson was born,
Okay.
my pota. I mean, I have, mashallah, three kids, three grandchildren from my daughter. But when my
माशा.
grandson was born, वो उसको, and because वो बिल्कुल मेरे हाथ में पला, she said, अब can you say that, say I love you. And when I started saying I love you, so I said, and then when aptitude struck and I understood that, my kids are my strength. So I sent them a message saying, love you, to my daughter and my son separately. 1 सेकंड के अंदर फोन आया उनका और मुझे कहते, मॉम, are you
Are you
okay?
okay? I've heard
Are
this
you
many
feeling
a
all right?
times.
Are you feeling all right? Is everything okay with you? So that is when I realized, I said कि I think ये एक शायद ये एक फ्लॉ है कि हम इमोशंस एज पेरेंट्स इतना नहीं करते हैं जितना करना चाहिए. तो इसी वजह से my mother didn't do it, I didn't do it, and I didn't do it, my kids don't do it. And I keep telling them कि अपने बच्चों के साथ तो कर लो. मैं अपने ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन को कहती हूँ लव यू, मिस यू, तो वो देखते हैं मुझे कि क्या पागल बातें कर रही है, why are you even saying it? So I guess it's just कुछ चीजें, nobody's perfect. So that is where when I'm talking about failure, it was just a figment of imagination in my head. But if you get disheartened with your failure, like मैं हो गई थी, very disheartened, then that's not on. Like in your personal or professional life, when you get disheartened and you feel that, oh my God, was, if you give up, then khatam. It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. You need a mentor or a coach or someone who will help you get out of that fear factor. It's perfectly okay to fail. If you fail and you learn from your mistakes, like I would say, failure and mistakes could be synonyms in a way that, if you learn from your failures and your mistakes, you will become better and better by the day.
और आई थिंक चूंकि आप एक एग्जीक्यूटिव कोच हैं, एक हैप्पीनेस कोच हैं, आई माई सेल्फ आई एम इन टू लाइफ कोचिंग फॉर मैनी ईयर्स नाउ. हमारी लाइफ में भी ऐसे गैप्स आते हैं, इश्यूज आते हैं, एंड आई थिंक दैट इज़ वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस टू गो थ्रू दैट बिकॉज दीज आर ह्यूमन फीलिंग्स, वी आर नॉट रोबोट्स एट द एंड ऑफ द डे. So it is good that we've gone through those emotional, pauses whereby we've learned to live with them and outgrow. So now we can always reflect back when we handle our clients or our customers or when we go and speak in the audience. So you can drive analogies rather than taking things just from the books and literature and you go and attack the audience. So yeah, being sensitive towards all these things is important. और महसूस करना वही एहसास की बात है. नॉट दैट, जैसे कि आपने सही कहा कि हमारे वालिदैन नॉट जस्ट कि वो हमसे प्यार नहीं करते थे या करते हैं, दे आर अलाइव, लेकिन वो एक्सप्रेशन उस तरह का शायद नहीं था पहले. Like my mom, she just passed away 15 days ago,
I'm
20
so
days
sorry.
ago.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's all right. Thank you. और वो शी वाज नॉट द टाइप कि वो हग करती, और उनको थोड़ा सा अजीब सा लगता था द HUG पार्ट ना. बट शी लव मी लाइक क्रेजी एंड आई न्यू दैट, नॉट दैट शी इज गॉन. अब मैं बोल रहा हूँ, पता है दुनिया को, आई राइट अबाउट दिस, आई एम वेरी वोकल अबाउट माई पर्सनल लाइफ. my personal and public life is kind of the same. Even my family and all, they get worried कि यार सारी चीजें खोल के सबके सामने रख देते हो. That's me, take it or leave it, yeah. But वो याद वाली बात कि उनका वो स्टाइल नहीं था अपने आप को एक्सप्रेस करने का. और अब शायद ज़माना चेंज हो गया है और हम नए बच्चों के साथ मिलेनियल्स के साथ जी रहे हैं. तो समटाइम्स यू हैव टू, मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम रादर, यू हैव टू unlearn what you had learned 30 years ago, since now you're dealing with kids who are much smarter in the internet world, or AI or chat GPT and what have you. Even उनके जो acronyms use करते हैं, मुझे तो एटलीस्ट वो भी टाइम्स समझ नहीं आते कि चल के आ रहा है. And then they have to explain. I have 3 kids and they smile और वो आपस में लगे हुए होते हैं कि यार these guys are oldly. So I tell them, yes, I'm oldly. You need to tell me, yeah. तो या ये अच्छी आपने बात की और ये एक पर्सनल सॉर्ट ऑफ आपने चीज शेयर की. But do you think that could that be different if you would have decided to stay here in this part of the world? Is it the Canada thingy, or इस पे क्या रोशनी आप डालेंगी कि
क्या
ये जो चीज जिससे आप गुजरी हैं,
क्या चीज गुजरी हमें?
ये कि
मैं समझी।
अम्मा ने एक्सप्रेस नहीं किया, आप बच्चों को एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर रहे और उनके बच्चे आगे एक्सप्रेस नहीं कर रहे. डू यू सी दिस ट्रेंड as something coming from the west, या पाकिस्तान में भी आपके जो फ्रेंड्स हैं वो ऐसे महसूस कर रहे हैं?
हाँ, सब सब यही महसूस करते हैं. आई मीन आई एम श्योर आपकी ऑडियंस भी ये महसूस करती होगी, बिकॉज हम जो है, और पता है क्या, ये जो कल्चर और ये कि ये पाकिस्तानी ट्रेट है, या मैं आई कोच लाइक उस दिन हम बैठे बात कर रहे थे मेरे दोस्त के साथ, एंड सर आई कोच एटलीस्ट अप टिल नाउ आई हैव कोच्ड अबाउट 9 डिफरेंट नेशनैलिटीज, और सबका माइंडसेट एक ही है. हर आदमी, ये नहीं होता कि ये पाकिस्तानी मर्द है या ये पाकिस्तानी औरत है. ये जो हम लेबलाइज करते हैं ना, ये हमें छोड़ देना चाहिए, बिकॉज दैट्स नॉट राइट. ग्रीक बंदा भी ऐसे ही सोचता है जैसे पाकिस्तानी बंदा सोचता है. फ्रेंच वुमन भी ऐसे ही सोचती है जैसे पाकिस्तानी औरत सोचती है. तो ये कहना कि ये पाकिस्तानी मेंटालिटी है, ये इससे मुझे बड़ा गुस्सा आता है. I feel very annoyed when people labelize you based on your nationality or where you came from. It's just हर बंदा ऐसे ही सोचता है. कुछ लोग जैसे ओवर टाइम वो थोड़ा अपने आप को रिफाइन कर लेते हैं, एंड दे थिंक दिस इज राइट और दिस इज रॉन्ग. वो अपनी इंडिविजुअल प्रेफरेंसेस होती है, बट टू से दैट ये पाकिस्तानी मेंटालिटी है, ये गलत बात है.
Stereotyping.
You don't need to do that. You don't need to say कि ये पाकिस्तानी मेंटालिटी है या ये गोरी मेंटालिटी. गोरी पाकिस्तानी सबके पास भेजा एक ही है, किसी के पास अलग नहीं है. वो एक अलग बात है कि आप उसको किस तरह सोचते हैं और किस तरह उसको कहाँ ले जाते हैं. So that's the only difference.
और शायद ये भी सॉर्ट ऑफ डिफरेंस कह लें या सिमिलैरिटी आप उस वक्त एक्सेस करते हैं, इस नतीजे तक पहुंचते हैं कि आपने साइकोलॉजी एज अ सब्जेक्ट पढ़ा है और टच किया है मे बी यूनिवर्सिटी में, और नाउ दैट यू ट्रैवलिंग यू मीट सो मेनी पीपल, तो दैट इज़ व्हेन यू रियलाइज कि जैसा आपने कहा कि यार ये तो हमारे जैसे हैं, सिर्फ चमड़ी के कलर का ही फ़र्क है, या उनका जो थॉट प्रोसेस है वो ज़ाहिर है एजुकेशन से भी चेंज होता है. यू टेंड टू अग्री टू डिसएग्री और अदरवाइज. एंड मैंने ये नोट किया है कि ट्रैवलिंग जो है वो उससे आप बहुत सीखते हैं, rather than just going to a particular school and getting your PhD in a subject. But if you just travel a lot, get to meet people from different cultures, from different religions and everything, different ethnicities, different backgrounds, that itself is wonderful learning. इस पे क्या आपका टेक है?
मेरा टेक है कि every day, whether you travel or you don't travel, some people are privileged, some people are not privileged. आप अगर अपना दिमाग खुला रखें, every day is a learning day for everyone. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing, like I feel that instead of cribbing and constantly complaining कि ऐसा है आप शुक्र करें कि आप आंख खोल के with your without any help or support you're able to open your eyes, get out of bed and make something happen for you. Then there's no reason, absolutely no reason for you to complain.
Crib.
God has been kind to you. You have great health. You have a good head on your shoulder. Opportunities will just come to you. Like मेरे हिसाब से ये सोचना कि मैं ट्रैवल करूँ तो मैं तो बाहर निकल के अगर रोड पे निकल के मैं and I'm a very people's person. I will talk to a stranger and and I learn every day something. अब वो ऊबर में कभी बैठे तो आप उनकी कहानियां सुने, कभी आप चले जाएं, मतलब there is every day that I learn something and
Yeah.
I make a note. If you notice, I hold a pen in my hand. I don't type, I write. The more you write, the better your senses work. आप मुझे किसी ने बताया जो वो क्या करते हैं वो I don't know वो जो
Palmistry.
sorry नहीं
Palmistry.
वो जो I'm forgetting the name वो आप उससे you know कौन सी वो चाइनीज मेडिसिन है एक्यूपंक्चर एक्यूपंक्चरिस्ट है वो उसने मुझे बताया कि यू नो एवरी पॉइंट इन योर बॉडी has an effect on
pressure point.
So the pressure when you're holding a pen and you're writing, it is automatically sending some signals to your brain to be more cognizant, be more be able to absorb things better. So लिखना ज़रूरी है. हम कितनी दफ़ा मैं मेरे ख्याल को 5-6 साल मैंने पेन ही नहीं उठाई थी. And then I realized कि यार ये क्या? I mean, I used to write before for newspapers, magazines and stuff. So मैंने तो पेन ही नहीं उठाई. And then when I started rewriting, everything started coming back to me. So there are some chemical breakdowns that happen in your mind when you hold a pen in your hand, pen or a pencil or whatever.
It's very interesting. और हमें लैपटॉप के चक्कर में लगा दिया गया है या ये जो फोन हम
वो लगाया वो तो जरूरी है, that's part and parcel of living. But do not forget to मैं अपने clients को ही कहती हूँ कि आप जरूरी कुछ ना कुछ जब when you are about to sleep, when you wake up first thing in the morning, jot down what you need to do. When you do it at night, then you stay awake because फिर याद आ जाता है कि ये तो रह गया करना. तो आप सुबह उठ के जब आप when you wake up maybe 10-15 minutes earlier than your time and then just jot down what you need to do. And every day is a new day. The reason why I'm sure you've heard this, that it's called present is because it's a gift from the universe. Past, present, future जो है, present जो है is a gift for you from the universe to be able to do what you were born to become. Your purpose has to be fulfilled.
Wow. इस पे जुमला याद आ गया जो आपने बात की मौलाना रूम का when he says कि you born with wings, why crawl? Yeah, कितनी powerful statement है कि you born with wings, why crawl? और सोचते ही नहीं लोग इन चीज़ों को. Yeah, the other one, because I'm an ardent fan of Mevlana. Mevlana is a Turkish word, my master. And when he says, you're not a drop in the ocean, you're the entire ocean in a drop. अब ये शायद पढ़ा हो आपने भी, लोगों ने सुना भी हो और हम गुजर जाते हैं इन जुमलों से, बट ये इतने पावरफुल जुमले हैं. और शायद यही वजह है जब एलिफ शफक ने लिखा ये सब कुछ, was based out of shuttles between England, London and Turkey, Istanbul, तो और अंग्रेजी में लिखा, तो वो सडन हिट हो गई. वो मेवलाना जो 1200 समथिंग में ये सब कुछ कह के चले गए थे, शम्स तबरीज के साथ जो डायलॉग है उनका, which is amazing, the 40 rules of love. You may have read the book, but वो जो उसने जिस तरह से उसको sort of modern day के साथ twist भी दिया है, साइड में वो एया और ज़ारा का प्लॉट भी चला रही है, that is out of this world. और वही वाली बात, द पावर ऑफ द पेन, बिकॉज शी रोट द स्टोरी डाउन, यू नो। वो बहुत ज़रूरी है जो आपने बात की वो। और फिर वो एक्यूपंक्चर, वो जापानीज थिंगी या योगा कह लें आप, कि पेन को पकड़ना। बिकॉज मैं फ्रेंकली आई डोंट राइट, टू बी ऑनेस्ट। जो कुछ भी मेरी राइटिंग है वो लैपटॉप पे होती है। हाँ, एक चीज़ ज़रूर है, आई डोंट लाइक रीडिंग डॉक्यूमेंट्स ऑन PDF। तो कोई बुक्स वुक्स मुझे अक्सर, या कुछ यार दोस्त हैं जो लिटरेट हैं, काबिल लोग हैं, मुझे भेज देते हैं। तो मेरी कोशिश होती है, ख्वाहिश होती है कि मैं किताबें खरीदूं। और इस पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड में आपको कॉपीराइट मटेरियल, वो क्या कहते हैं, इन्फ्रिंजमेंट या वट वो मिल जाता है, सस्ते पेपरबैक्स मिल जाते हैं। और जो मज़ा वो फूट लगा के वो पेज चेंज करने का, उसकी जो फ्रेश स्मेल होती है ना, एज इफ के डायरेक्ट फ्रॉम द ब्रू आ रही है वो बुक। तो
Yeah, yeah. So whatever, at the end of the day, whatever makes you happy.
हैप्पी,
Yeah.
यस।
And happy, when I say happy, people have this misconception that happiness is temporary. Joy is temporary, happiness is permanent. And you mentioned something earlier about we've lost happiness. It's not your cell phone or your car keys that you lose. Happiness is within every single human being, or I think every single, I shouldn't say human being, even animals or plants. Everybody has this innate happiness within. It's just that we get so overwhelmed by whatever's happening around us that it gets hidden somewhere. We need to trigger it and bring it back to life. That's what happiness coaching is generally.
लवली। और कोई फेलियर जिस पे आप बात करना चाहें?
मेरे लिए तो एवरी डे फेलियर, लाइक आई सेड, इज रोज होते होंगे फेलियर, लेकिन वो जो दैट फियर ऑफ फेलियर डज नॉट होल्ड मी बैक। एक वो है, वंस यू डोंट सक्सीड, ट्राई ट्राई अगेन। सो मेरे लिए होते होंगे, रोज होते होंगे फेलियर्स, लेकिन मैं आई डोंट गिव अप इजी। मेरी मेरी आई थिंक ये मेरे नेचर में है कि मैं इतनी जल्दी गिव अप नहीं करती। आई ऑलवेज गिव इट माई 200% before I close the chapter and say, you know what, that's it. I can't take it anymore.
So your
And when I
person,
use the word enough, that means it's the end. I can't do it anymore. But before I would, मैं कोई 500 दफा एक ही चीज करती जाऊंगी जब तक मेरी सेटिस्फैक्शन नहीं होगी कि ये चीज हुई है और ये यहाँ तक ही कर सकती थी। So maybe I fail every day. It's that mindset, the sooner you, like I said earlier, wake up and smell the coffee, the better it is for you. Why waste time? Procrastination gets you nowhere. In my vocabulary, if somebody says I'll do this tomorrow, when I have actually said do it today, then I do not want to deal with that person, because tomorrow never comes. फिर कल एक और मसला होगा, फिर कल और एक्सक्यूज होगी, फिर एक और एक्सक्यूज होगी। जो आप आज कर सकते हैं वो कल पे नहीं छोड़ें, बिकॉज कल जैसे है, कल होना हो, नहीं आई कल, फिर क्या होगा?
फिर क्या होगा? It's time to wake up and smell the coffee. बहुत अरसे बाद मैंने ये स्टेटमेंट सुनी है, so very American, I'm sure not American, if you would. ये वो जुमले मैं समझता हूँ।
आप कह सकते हैं कॉफी नहीं है, वहाँ चाय पीते हैं, तो it's time to wake up and smell tea.
मुझे
वो
वो
जो सुबह की जो चाय की जो खुशबू आती है, जो नाश्ते की जो वो एक रिचुअल है कि वो अंडा फ्राई होना और चाय का खुशबू आना, वो हमें एक it makes you look forward to that. You look forward to that.
Since I was pretty young when I was in the US, तो वो एक गंदी आदत वहाँ से पड़ गई थी ब्लैक कॉफ़ी की, और उससे किसी हद तक जान छुड़ाई है। लेकिन लेटली आई थिंक 2017 आई वेंट टू टर्की, और वहाँ जो टर्किश कॉफ़ी है और जो मेरा प्रीवियस एक्सपीरियंस है साइप्रस का, ग्रीक साइप्रस का, तो वहाँ भी वही टर्किश कॉफ़ी या ग्रीक कॉफ़ी चलती थी और वो काफ़ी कड़वी होती है। तो वो मैं अपने साथ ले आया था, मंगवा लेता हूँ। माय सन इज़ इन टर्की। तो व्हाट आई डू इज़, जो आपने मॉर्निंग टी की बात की, तो वो या आई डू एन्जॉय दैट, लेकिन उसमें मैं करता क्या हूँ, थोड़ी-सी अपनी टर्किश कॉफ़ी मिला लेता हूँ। सो इट बिकम्स अ कंकॉक्शन एंड दैट गिव्स यू अ लिटिल हाई व्हेन आई गेट अप इन द मॉर्निंग।
Whatever
और
makes you happy, really. I mean, there is no reason for people to say कि ये नहीं, अच्छा कॉफी नहीं तो चाय, या जो भी, जो चीज आपको खुशी, जो चीज आपको मोटिवेट करती है टू बी एबल टू स्टार्ट योर डे ऑन अ राइट फुटिंग, इससे ज्यादा अच्छी क्या बात हो सकती है? एंड God has given you, Alhamdulillah, God is kind that He gave you that opportunity to make it happen. So why not take that opportunity? A lot of people say, सुनते हैं, हम रोज ही सुनते हैं, you live every day, so what the heck? But I say, sorry, you only live once, they say, right? But मैं कहती हूँ, you live every day, but you die only once. So once you're dead, you ain't coming back, my friend. So make the most of it whilst you can. Why even think way, without looking at the consequences? आप impulsive decisions ना लें जिससे जो आप बाद में regret करें. But when you've been given an opportunity, make the most of it. Say Alhamdulillah, right? I say Shukr Alhamdulillah. People say Alhamdulillah all the time, and when you read the actual meaning of Alhamdulillah is Allah की तारीफ, but जब आप उसमें शुक्र ऐड करते हैं तो शुक्र that God is the greatest. I'm able to say that to Allah. It's very profound.
यस, वही आपकी बात कि ग्रैटिट्यूड इज़ वेरी इम्पॉर्टेंट। और मेरा भी ये है कि मैं व्हेन आई गेट अप इन द मॉर्निंग, कभी देर कभी सवेर, फजर पढ़ ली, थैंकफुल हो गए, कुछ थोड़े से आंसू बहा दिए। रात को सोते वक्त भी आई डू द सेम एक्सरसाइज। नॉर्मली आई एम एन अर्ली राइजर, और ऑन अ डे टू डे बेसिस आई लिव माई लाइफ एंड आई एम ऑलवेज थैंकफुल। लोगों को भी मैं यही समझाता हूँ व्हेन आई स्पीक एज एन इंस्पिरेशनल स्पीकर कि यार, बी हैप्पी टुडे बिकॉज टुमारो नेवर कम्स। Stop regretting about the past. Live in the today because
You're
यही
present.
आप
It's a gift from Allah. Like
yes,
it's present.
enjoy
आज
कर
एक gift है आपका.
या या और उसको enjoy करना सीखें। I don't plan. My mother, अल्लाह बख्शे, वो बहुत नाराज होती थी कि तुम्हारे पास कोई प्लान नहीं है, ना तुम्हारा अपना प्लान है, बच्चों के लिए तो प्लान कर लो। But my problem is I am a traveler on this planet. If you can guarantee, and this is what I used to tell my mom, and she would, pissed off actually. मैं उनको कहता था, अम्मा कोई गारंटी मुझे दे दो कि कल मैं सुबह जिंदा उठूंगा, तो फिर मैं प्लान भी कर लेता हूँ। ऑल्दो वो जो स्टेटमेंट्स हैं जो मैंने वेस्ट से सीखी हैं, इफ यू फेल टू प्लान यू विल प्लान टू फेल, बट आई एम सॉरी, आई डोंट बाय दैट बिकॉज आई प्लान ऑन अ डेली बेसिस। कल के प्लान्स मेरे पास नहीं होते। हाँ ठीक है, अब आपका प्लान करना पड़ा मुझे क्योंकि मुझे आपका इंटरव्यू लेना था, लेकिन आई डिडंट प्लान इट फॉर 21 days, 3 weeks और हाफ अ ईयर। देयर आर सम पीपल जिनके इस तरह के इंटरव्यू के लिए मुझे 3-3 महीने भागना पड़ा। नाम नहीं लूंगा, नाराज हो जाएंगे। वेरी गुड फ्रेंड्स ऑफ माइंड, व्हाट्सएप पे आपको बता दूंगा कौन वो लोग हैं, बिकॉज दे सेलिब्रिटीज, तो जाहिर है उनके हिसाब से आपको चलना पड़ता है। तो वंडरफुल। इज देयर एनीथिंग एल्स दैट वी शुड टॉक अबाउट? कुछ आता है आपके जहन में?
I would say that like every session that I do, I always have a takeaway session.
ओके।
So
अच्छा,
for me,
सॉरी, इससे पहले कि हम क्लोज करें, एक क्वेश्चन आया है एंड इट सेज, कुड यू प्लीज गाइड मी हाउ आई कैन improve culture sensitivity and adaptability to connect with diverse people? Wow, this is interesting. इस पे कमेंट करना चाहेंगी आप?
sure, again, come again. What's the question?
Let me read it again for you. It goes, could you please guide me how I can improve culture sensitivity? Like, how can I be sensitive towards other people's culture and adaptability to connect with diverse set of people?
It's very easy. It's not. It's like I had mentioned earlier. It's you have to learn to not take anything personal. If there is a cultural issue, like somebody likes to take like jute utarne bahar. I'm just giving an example. Some people when they walk into the house, they want people to take off their shoes, which I find very insulting. But some people want,
May not
they
like.
think it's in their culture कि जूते बाहर उतार के आपने अंदर आना है. तो आप जिसके घर जा रहे हैं तो आप उसको वहाँ, I mean, you don't have to change your personality for that person unless how important that person is in your life. It varies from person to person. But to be able to uh, adopt depending on how you want that relationship to be with that person. Like if it's a long-term relationship, then obviously you will have to adapt to their culture because otherwise conflicts will happen. So you may not agree with certain things, but it's okay. The world will not come to an end because you do not agree with certain things. You, unless you want to change the whole setup, then it's a totally different ball game. But if not, somebody says something to you which you get offended with, but you know you're right. I use this, I tell all my clients two magic words. And believe me, it works like magic. I will share with you. It's like somebody says, oh, for example, somebody says, oh, you're an idiot, like hypothetically speaking. But you know you're not an idiot, right? What do you say? You say, so what? Anybody can say anything they want, which should not change your perspective because you know what you really are. You're not an idiot. But if somebody says you're an idiot, shouldn't make you one. So the magic words that you use when you feel that somebody is offending you
We lost you for a while. हाँ,
is
call आ
that
रहा था शायद. Okay. Yeah.
if somebody is being disrespectful for you and you know that you're in the right, just say so what. That so-called stigma of लोग क्या कहेंगे or what will people think of you or say about you is irrelevant, really. If you should not get worried because what will people say or do or think of you. You know what you're doing as long as you know that you're on the right track. आप खुद आपका ना सबका एक कॉन्शियस होता है जो आपको सही और गलत की तमीज सिखाता है. हम कभी उसको एक्नॉलेज करते हैं, कभी नहीं करते हैं, लेकिन सबके पास है ये, irrespective of culture, religion,
Creed, color. Yeah.
yes. So learn to say so what. If somebody says something to you which is out of context, or it shouldn't bother you, it shouldn't take you down, because I'm not saying you don't care about those people, but don't let it affect you so much that it affects you. So that's why I would say that just respect what other people, if it's a cultural thing or if they feel that the cultural sensitivity is there, or if somebody is from another, because उनकी नज़दीक वो नहीं समझ सकते, like there are so many, I mean, it will just go on and on, but I've coached a few people जो cultural, like wife is American and the husband is Greek. उनमें ये कल्चर है कि जो ग्रीक लोग हैं वो उसके हस्बैंड के पाँव धोने होते हैं उसको सुबह, वो शाम को जब घर आए.
Is it right? Wow.
Yeah. और वो he loves her to death. He'll do anything and everything for her. लेकिन बस वो एक रिचुअल है उनका कि जब, और वो खुद जज है. She's a judge in court. एंड वो जो भी है, आई डोंट नो वो क्या है, लेकिन जब वो घर आए तो वो 5 बजे घर आता है, तो 5:05 पे उसके घर के उसके एंट्रेंस पे एक फुट बाथ रखा हुआ है, वहाँ उसके पाँव धोती है. उसके अलावा वो कुछ नहीं मांगता उससे. कुछ नहीं मांगता उससे. वो ही इज अ गुड प्रोवाइडर, ही इज एन एक्सीलेंट हस्बैंड, बट वो इसकी एक डिमांड है, तो आप उसको एक्सेप्ट कर लें अब पाँव उसके धोने से आप कोई मर नहीं जाएंगे, या आप आपकी आपकी ईगो अफेक्ट नहीं होनी चाहिए, लेकिन उनकी कल्चर में है ऐसे, तो ठीक है आप एक्सेप्ट करें ना इसको, there's nothing wrong in that.
And
पाँव
now that
धोने
you're
पर तो हाँ,
married to him, you want to save the marriage. Either you should have known that earlier if you had a problem with that.
save that marriage, I mean do your pros and cons.
Yeah.
मतलब वो उसके लिए आसमान से तारे तोड़ के ला के देता है, तो अगर वो सिर्फ कह रहा है कि भाई मेरे पाँव धो दो, तो क्या बड़ी बात है यार उसमें, you know
वेरी
what I mean?
इंटरेस्टिंग। या ये आपने जो बात की मुझे नहीं पता थी ग्रीक कल्चर की, लेकिन मेरे एक मुर्शिद थे अल्लाह बख्शे, डाइड इन 1988। मैंने उनसे बात की थी और he was a Pakhtun, and he told me, and of course from a village, a place called Sawabi, a city here close to Islamabad, an hour's drive maybe. I was in Karachi then, and this is 1980, between 86 and 88। उन्होंने एक बात कही कि जब मैं यहाँ से जाता हूँ अपने गांव, अपने घर, आबाई घर में, तो मैं भी दौड़ता हूँ और मेरी माँ भी दौड़ती है। तो मैंने व्हाट डू यू मीन बाय दैट, दौड़ते हैं? तो ही गोज़ कि माँ दौड़ती है अपने पैर धोने और मैं दौड़ता हूँ पानी का एक तसला लेके, लोटा पकड़ता हूँ, उससे माँ के पैर धोता हूँ और गटागट पी जाता हूँ। And I was like, excuse me? And he was very educated person. He was a public prosecutor in Peshawar. He was a millionaire. And he left all that to become a fakir, a murshid, a wali. मैंने कहा दिस इज नॉट पॉसिबल नाउ दैट यू आर सो एजुकेटेड। ही गोज नो आई स्टिल डू इट। एंड मैंने कहा कि वो जो गंदगी है जिसमें वो आपकी वालदा चलती हैं, तो कहते नहीं बेटा गंदगी नहीं है वहाँ, वो साफ जगह होती है, वहाँ हम नमाज पढ़ लेते हैं बगैर कोई चादर बिछाए। उस एरिया की मैं बात कर रहा हूँ। तो दैट इज कर्टसी, दैट इज लव, दैट इज रिस्पेक्ट फॉर अ मदर। तो ये जो अभी आपने बात की, तो दैट्स व्हाई आई ड्रोव दिस एनालॉजी कि अमेजिंग, ये तो हमारे कल्चर में भी है। वो अलग बात है हम शायद उसको प्रैक्टिस उस तरह से नहीं कर रहे, बट यस ये वो चीज़ें हैं। और स्पेशली आज के दौर में वेयर बाय वी बिकम सो एजुकेटेड एट टाइम, वी फील दैट वी आर एजुकेटेड, और छोटे से रीजंस बन जाते हैं जिससे डिवोर्स हमारे पाकिस्तान के कल्चर में आ गया है। कॉम्प्रोमाइज करना छोड़ दिया है लोगों ने, आइदर इट्स द मेल और द फीमेल हुएवर, both are party to this, but और वो compromise न करने की वजह से at the drop of a hat divorces होना शुरू हो गई हैं, and especially in the educated lot, which is so shocking actually.
एजुकेटेड और नॉन एजुकेटेड, ये इट्स वेरी वेरी प्रेवलेंट, हर सिर्फ पाकिस्तान में नहीं पूरी दुनिया में। कॉम्प्रोमाइज एंड रिस्पेक्ट नहीं करना चाहते आप दूसरे की विशेस को, या दूसरे की जो लाइक आई एम सॉरी, वो जो आपके जो जिन्होंने पूछा कि वो सेंसिटिविटी को वो अडेप्ट नहीं करना चाहते, तो फिर तो जाहिर कॉन्फ्लिक्ट होगा।
ग्रेट, आई थिंक हमने काफी टाइम आपका ले लिया है।
Thank you. So my takeaway for this session is that, well, failure is part of growth, of your journey to growth. Always remember, if failure is a part of your journey to growth. It depends on how you take it. If you've made a mistake, learn from those mistakes and move forward and try to make things better. So failure से घबराना नहीं है, ये डरने की कोई चीज नहीं।
एक साहब याद आ गए जो कहा करते थे सबसे पहले आपने घबराना नहीं है। So I would like to end here because he's not very popular these days, unfortunately, for whatever reasons. Thank you very much for your time, and it was a pleasure having you.
Thank you for having me on your platform, and I hope I was able to make a difference in your viewers' lives.
Hopefully, inshallah. Keeping our fingers crossed, you take very good care of yourself, and you give my regards to your mother as well.
Thank you so much. Okay,
it's a pleasure. Take care of yourself.
Allah Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz.